Hey there people, how's it going? This is Cross the Rubicon. Well, beautiful day here in North Canterbury in New Zealand. Lots of things happening in the world. Last video, a few days ago, I spoke about, well, the upcoming, it was just about an hour, 2 hours before, the Tucker interview with President Putin in Moscow. And wasn't the media and Western politicians, especially them on the left, which includes Conservatives and Republicans, believe it or not, they condemned Tucker. A few of them condemned him as a traitor. And Hillary Clinton called him a puppet to President Putin. Boris Johnson, Putin said, prevented the peace deal before the war started, before Russia basically entered eastern Ukraine. I believe it because, well, we read about it at the time, and Boris Johnson did indeed do something, but it wasn't off his own back, because being the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom at the time, even then, he's still not powerful enough to, well, put the blocks on a peace deal between the Ukraine and Russia. But I believe he did it, but on behalf of somebody else. But just makes you wonder who told him to go over there and scupper the peace deal between Ukraine and Russia. Because there's no doubt, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, there's no doubt now that all Western leaders, so-called democratically elected Western leaders, who should be, I'm talking about prime ministers and presidents, who should be the very top of their nations because they've been elected in by a democratic process, are not actually in charge. The Western media, the mainstream media, the legacy media, if you like, nearly every single journalist, every single academic, university academic, most of them, will scoff at what I just said. Just makes me wonder sometimes what kind of people are running our universities and our media. Is intelligence and education the same thing? I don't know, because it seems to me the more educated these people are, the more stupid they become. I know it sounds ridiculous, but hey, I didn't go to university, and some of you may be able to tell I haven't been. But I wouldn't want to go to university today. I wouldn't have wanted to go to university a couple of decades ago, a couple or 3 decades ago, because I might not think the way I do right now. If I did, I might be all woke and lovey and embrace the sick and twisted logic of the woke that has gripped the West over the past few years and severely weakened us. In the United Kingdom, the military are struggling to get recruits, and now they're recruiting foreign-born people without security checks. The military in the UK for the past few years have been running campaigns basically saying that if you're a patriot, you're a far-right white supremacist. Basically, that's what they've been saying. Basically, we don't want you in the military if you love your country too much. Isn't it a strange thing? An inverted world, satanic inversion, if you like. It's funny, I watched a video yesterday or the day before, a reactionary video by Boris Johnson, would you believe? The man who scuppered the peace deal between the Ukraine and Russia. He came on a short video, he came on a t-shirt, and he blasted Tucker Carlson, blasted him, and called him basically, he's a traitor to journalism. That's what he is, he's a traitor to journalism. This comes from a man who is arguably responsible for 500,000 deaths in Ukraine, Russians and Ukrainians and civilians. A man who brought that to the UK and wore them for press conferences, and when the cameras were turned off, took them all off and went on the piss, drinking the finest wine. Oh, you don't need to wear masks, it's all bullshit anyway, we know that. This has been proven. People were there at these parties where they didn't wear masks. And yet, people lost their jobs. And this is not just Britain, this is right across the world, but I'm just using Boris Johnson as an example. Same here in New Zealand with Jacinda Ardern. He committed treason against the United Kingdom by bankrupting it. Trudeau of Canada, same. Macron of France, same. Jacinda Ardern of New Zealand, same. Biden, the man who cannot even string a sentence together. Arguably, the president of the free world, did the same in the United States. The Western world is on the precipice of absolute disaster, with these leaders, and not one of them is an alpha male. Not one of them. Because alpha males are out. They're just not with it anymore. They have to be effeminate. They have to have feelings. Has Putin got feelings? Oh, he's probably got feelings, but is he a weak leader, Putin? Well, watch the Tucker Carlson interview and you tell me if he's a weakling. Wouldn't it be nice if some of our Western countries, or indeed all of our Western nations, had strong leaders like President Putin? But because we live in a woke, limp-wristed world of saps who believe in cultural Marxism, and they actually state, these are intelligent people, very well educated people, who actually state that men can have babies. And they laugh at you if you say you're a Christian and believe in God. These people say men can have babies. Men with penises. And these are so-called educated, intelligent people. That's what kind of sordid, sick and twisted world the West has become. Russia, on the other hand, China, the Middle East, I'm not talking about Israel, I'm talking about the Islamic countries in the Middle East. They don't suffer such nonsense. But I tell you what, their leaders are just sitting and waiting because they're watching us get weaker and weaker and weaker because of the stupidity of our so-called leaders and our academics in universities and our media. Our media refuse to even call out Biden and his non compos mentis. They won't even talk about it. Talking about it is being some kind of puppet for Putin. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. And that's the whole of the Western media, all playing and singing from the same hymn book. In hive mind, if you like. Groupthink. Memo. A memo from somewhere, from somebody, gets sent out. To all media organisations, you must say this. And all anchors, all politicians, the dog. Wait, yeah. You can just see there. Not sure if you can see her. Wait, Lucy. I'll carry on. Where was I? The media. What can we do if the media is corrupted? They've been bought and paid for. The same people that are destroying the West and making us weaker. These multi-billionaire psychopaths, and they are multi-billionaire psychopaths, and corporations, have bought the media. They bought everything. Bought university lecturers, bought everything. Not only that, they are trying to shut people down on social media by calling it mis and disinformation, and the new one is malinformation. Trying to shut us all down. They talk about it in the WEF all the time. Talk about shutting down conversations on social media, YouTube, Facebook, whatever. Because they say things, like myself, I'm tiny compared to some, say things that are true, basically. But they don't like the truth. They want to control the narrative. They want to control the information. And therefore, they have to brand us. They have to make us the other. And they have made us the other. You look at, going back to the last two or 3 years, where this and them who didn't take this, like myself, they made us the other. Jacinda Ardern bragged about it. What was it that journalist said to Jacinda Ardern? So you're creating two different societies. Yes, that's right. Let's be nice, let's be kind. She didn't say the last bit, but she did say, yes, that's right. These people committed the greatest crime against humanity ever created. I'm not talking about Jacinda Ardern, she was just part of it, a small part of it. But the people that started it, the people that promoted it, and the people that gave us the old, think of me, many millions of others. But the media were used as a tool to promote it. Families today, all over the world, families, mums, dads, brothers, sisters, siblings, communities, don't even speak to each other because of it, still today. And them who took it, many became very ill, many died. But many of those who took it still are in denial, and they won't have it. They won't have it that they were silly, basically. They made a mistake. But many are still digging their heels in. And they dread it coming round again. They must do. The WEF, WHO, the United Nations selected presidents and prime ministers. Once they bring the next pandemic in, that's dreamed up by the WHO, are the same people that dug their heels in, are they going to take the next one? I don't think so. Because they know in their heart of hearts that they made a mistake. Yes, there are some, a minority I would say, the ones who are still wearing these, driving cars by themselves. Driving a car by yourself and you're wearing one of them. I seen one the other day here in North Canterbury, mowing his lawn. This was yesterday. Mowing his lawn with one of them on a beautiful, warm, quite windy summer's day. Just makes you wonder, doesn't it? I bet he's got a big Jacinda tattoo on his arm, over where he had the 25 shots. The truth will come out at some stage, and I think these people, these globalists, these super woke, believe in the absolute degeneration of Western society. I believe they know the writing is on the wall for them at some stage, because there's going to be a reaction. And me, I can't wait for that day when there's a reaction to these people who inflicted this on the world. Because I want to see the, should I say the word? I'll say it. Nuremberg trials, number 2. I'd like to see them. And I'd like to see all these multi-billionaires, I won't mention names, and nearly everybody, every single person, including Hollywood stars, pop stars, you know who they are, who go to the WEF every year and promote the mass genocide of most of the world's population. Behind closed doors, them conversations take place. I'd like to see them all go the same way as these German war criminals, Japanese war criminals of the Second World War. Call me what you will, but then, only then will there be justice. And all these CEOs of companies, managers, who became little dictators, who sacked people, police even, security services, politicians. I'd like to see them on trial too. Maybe not going down the same way as, the others, but they should face justice too for what they did. Because I know many of them delighted in destroying lives by creating the other. And the other was much the same as what happened in 1930s Germany. And the Nazis, Hitler if you like, made the Jews, the gypsies, the infirm, the other, and made them easier to eliminate and kill. And that's what these psychopaths are still trying to do now. And I don't think it's a stretch, to be honest, to try and get them who are, give me more, I want more, to turn them into raving lunatics. Brown shirts, if you like, who would gang up and attack people, who just won't follow the rules of madmen, psychopaths, who believe they're gods and think they've got some kind of divine right of who lives and who dies on the planet. So, Hope you enjoyed that. Sometimes I just roll with it. Just think on my feet, and I think it goes down well sometimes. But if I can just add, I hope Donald Trump becomes president this year. I hope and pray he does. I don't believe he's one of them, because if he was one of them, they wouldn't do what they're doing. Or maybe that's all part, some people will say in the comments, that's all part of the deception. I don't believe it. And if he does become the president again, I hope he invites Tucker Carlson to be the vice president. And when Donald Trump's term is up, because I don't think he's going to run for 4 years now, because he's already done 4 years. I think that's the case. Tucker Carlson does 8 years. Prediction? I don't know. Just wishful thinking, maybe. I don't know. Okay, this is Cross the Rubicon. Please like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and share this video everywhere. See you later.